Good evening, party people. My name is Cameron. Welcome back to the bar with an X. It's just a random Sunday, and I have some things that I need to do here. Trying to infuse some gin with fruit, and so I figured pop live for a little bit. I'm actually playing Cookie Clicker in the background, so in case if you see me looking off into the distance and like shockingly turning around to look at something, it's probably because I'm trying to do the Cookie Clicker thing, which is absolutely hilarious. So. I don't think I've been at the bar angle recently before while doing this double streaming thing with Twitch and YouTube, so I need to rearrange some things just for a little bit, because I need to make sure that I can see everybody's chats up on the front page, all in one interface, so I can see everything. We're live on YouTube. We got the Twitch going. We just got back from Thankmas the other day. Oh, and the other thing too is I'm also experimenting with trying to stream to Instagram. I don't know if that's worked yet. Let me click the button over here. Well, let's see if anything happens when I click this big old button here. I click go live, and it looks like I can see that too, which is great. It says practice mode. Practice mode? I don't really know what that does. Comments, nothing. Well, it's practice mode, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Oh, and live. This is the live video happening. I'm actually on the Instagram side too. Doesn't look like anything's really working right now, but it's because I went into practice mode. So if I'm in the live video, practice, go back, go here, discard the video, that's fine. Discard live video because it wasn't a real one. Let me go to live, audience, public. I have to go to OBS to click on this button, which is Instagram. Hello there. I see somebody popping in. Hold on a second. Kid, did I digivolve yet? If only. If only. If only we did. We actually did not, unfortunately. I click that add title. Infusing. Whoa! I'm trying to balance myself here. Infusing gin with fruit on a cozy Sunday. Let's try that. Now I click next. On the Instagram side, I have this new copy thing. Oh, I see a rainbow. No, not a rainbow. It's a cookie. Play Cookie Clicker in the background. Copy. Now let's go back into OBS. OBS over here. OBS are modify. With this big old button. All that. Trying to stream to every single platform at once can be a little confusing. But this is all for the sake of experimentation. I don't know how any of this is supposed to work. I can't see the right button over here, so I gotta bring it over here. I click OK button. Now I click Start. Okay, connecting. I look upon the other side. I see things. Instagram is muted because it routes to my headphones, which gets a little confusing. That looks okay. And now, if I take this window and I make it a little bit smaller, so I have the Twitch on one side, I have the Insta in the middle. Something went wrong. Reload page. Well, that's because I resized the page, you dum-dum. Ah, don't do this to me again, Insta. It's so wild. Okay. Now I go over here. This is a technical thing. This is me testing things live. And then I'll cut up some fruit, so we'll throw it in alcohol, and we'll see what happens. And now I gotta click this button. If you're trying to go live on Instagram, follow these simple steps. Go to Instagram.com. Click the plus button. Click on live video. Enter in a convincing title. Infusing gin with fruits on a cozy Sunday. Pick your audience. It can't just be audience from the drop-down menu. Uplick. Next. Great. Then copy your stream URL and stream key and make sure to add it properly into your streaming software. So I gotta stop the Insta. Gotta go here. Gotta modify this thing again. It doesn't synchronize automatically, so I have to do this painstaking process every single time, or I just do it to begin with before the stream actually starts. But now I know that I gotta click live in one place, click live in another place, and get live in it. Oh, there's so much happening. Well, now that that's happening, another reindeer cookie and Cookie Clicker, because it's the holiday season. Start. Okay. Okay. I see things. Maybe? Do I? I don't even know if I do anymore. Oh, okay, I see things on the Instas. Now I click the go live button. And now it seems like it's working. The audience says live. Great. That's exactly what we were trying to do. Perfect. Now, is there any way to monitor that from my cellular device? I'm also on the Instagram page. And I don't see anything. This says nothing about me being live. I don't know, it could be a lie. Maybe not. Honestly, I have no idea. Everything's so complicated. It's the first time I'm trying to do this, but you know what? At least I think I am, so I'm gonna keep on going. Oh, that is actually working. All right, perfect. Now we're live in a bunch of different places. So hello to YouTube, hello to Twitch, hello to Instagram. We're just freaking everywhere today. I'm cutting up fruit. Hello, says Emily. Yeah, I am live. I knew it. And you can actually hear me too. That's even better. I don't know how to route chat every which way. I know there's YouTube and Twitch on the main angle, but the stuff you see on Instagram is actually a different angle completely. Apparently in OBS, this is cool. This is technical stuff. Skip to the end if you don't care about any of this stuff. But evidently, you can actually use this one plugin for OBS to allow you to stream to multiple sources, multiple places at the same time, and you can pick and choose which scene goes to which place. So I made a whole new scene just for Instagram, and I'm testing that out now. So if you're on the Instagram side of things, hello, welcome. Finally, everything is in one place, and hopefully as we put in our first 20 hours of this stuff, everything gets a little bit easier along the way. So that's wonderful and great. So now that everybody's here on every different place, let's get things started over here. I was struck with, not necessarily inspiration. Well, it was kind of inspiration, right? Inspiration, it was almost kind of a request too. Oh, another reindeer is popping up in this cookie clicker game of mine. Cookies, yes. To create various different cocktails from Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, or cocktails from it, or cocktails inspired from it. I digress on that topic. But somebody suggested one of the recipes in game called the Tasty Tonic. It's just an item that you can get. You can't actually make it in the Thousand Year Door, I don't think. I think you just buy it from the shop for like 3 coins or whatever. And I was like, that's a great idea. I wonder how do you make this thing? And according to the recipe from the original Paper Mario game, you can make a Tasty Tonic in a couple of different ways. You can make it by combining honey syrup with a bunch of different things. Either apple, bubbleberry, this is bubblegum vodka, do something with that, a coconut, I have coconut flakes, blueberry, I have blueberries just for that purpose, red berry, I have strawberries for that purpose, lime, lemon, or yellow berry, and I have 1 star fruit left over from the weird stuff that I've been doing with trying to create crystal stars and stuff, and it's looking a little ripe, looking very, very ripe. So I'm gonna try that ripeness. I'm gonna see. So essentially, I was like, to try to do this recipe, is it not just the gin and tonic? Well, let's try to do an infused gin and tonic sweetened with some honey syrup. And I think that's probably gonna be the nice recipe. I mean, it's got an pretty little orange flower on it, and I've got an idea of how to make that garnish a reality. But it requires infusing some gin first. And I figured there was a bunch of cutting to do, and I'd rather just listen to music and enjoy it with the people. So I'm listening to music along with the rest of y'all. So if you got anything, feel free to talk and chat if you'd like to, but other than that, it's a very low pressure, no pressure stream. We're just gonna be cutting fruits. I'm gonna put it in a jar with alcohol, and when we're done with that, I'll leave the Sunday off to the rest of y'all. Sound cool? Great. So that's what we'll do. So let me move some things off to the side. This cool little coaster here from my Valhalla. Grab a cutting board, and that's basically all we're doing. I was doing some cuts. I get to see how everything works and also play some game in the background. I put every single thing that I see on my screen also on your screen, but that's evidently kind of impossible, and it gets way, way too overcomplicated, so. Small things first. Every time we try to get 1% better than what we were previously, and eventually everything becomes really, really good. So the idea that I have in mind is I want this to just kind of be a fruited gin. So we went to this when we were at Thankmas the other day. By the way, we raised over $300 for the World Central Kitchen, and I have donate links up as well. Actually, I don't have it on the bar. Let me add that on the bar. A donation link if y'all want to contribute to Thankmas. I need to add a browser source. I can't see very well from here. Browser source, please. Browser source. Oh, T is for Thankmas. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do this easier on me. 1 second. Image Chow saying, oh wow, Cameron, hi, it's been ages since we last spoke. Dude, I haven't seen you in like forever. Where have you been? Let me put this Thankmas screen up here. Browser. Thankmas. Oh, no, it's a group. I go down, I add this button, I click this button, I click it. To the people on Instagram, you can't see any of this, I'm sorry. I don't know how to do that yet. Gotta figure things out. Thankmas overlay. That's the one. Okay. And then I just move that up to it looks pretty. There we go. You can see that there. I'm not gonna bother with the Instagram side of things. I'll just say this. Here's a donation link. If you feel so actually, I'm not gonna worry about it. If you really want to donate, the World Central Kitchen and you're on Instagram, come over to Twitch or YouTube. Be in one of those locations. I swear we have it everywhere. But so we're gonna take some gin, and I just kind of want to infuse some fruit flavor into this. I don't really want it to be super duper bitter, because we're gonna get enough bitterness from tonic that you're gonna add to the gin for this fancy fruity gin and tonic. So I'm gonna try to essentially just take all the non-bitter parts of these fruits, put them all into a mason jar, and then just kind of let them sit for a while before we have our next bar stream. Our next bar stream is confirmed. I haven't put an announcement out yet, but it's not going to be this Wednesday. It's going to be next Wednesday, where we will be making this recipe as well as everything else. This is just a little bit of prep that goes in behind that. So I'm going to put the gin off to the side. I don't need that yet. I have a mason jar. I technically don't need that yet. The first thing we got to do is just start cutting things. So we're going to start cutting things. And I think the first thing I want to do is I want to get this apple. So essentially, I don't want to peel this apple. I don't want the peel. So I'm just going to kind of I'll cut it up a little bit and skin it first, then cut it up. And we'll kind of put that in our jar first. We'll supposedly have a little bit of apple, a little bit of blueberry, a little bit of star fruit, a little bit of lime, a little bit of lemon, a little bit of strawberry, a little bit of coconuts. And then eventually, I guess I'll put a little bit of, just depending on how that tastes, I'm going to put a little bit of bubblegum vodka in there just to spice things up a little bit, because the bubbleberry in the original Paper Mario game, I don't really know what that's supposed to be. But when I think of a bubbleberry, I think of bubble gum for bubbleberry. So we put a little bit of bubblegum essence in there. I really don't want to mess up the color very much because I'd rather this gin just remain as clear as possible. Actually, it should have a blue hue to it, all things considered. Oh, I gotta cut. What am I doing? I gotta peel this thing first. I'm not a professional when it comes to anything food related. Let's go with that. So let's take this apple. Let me make sure I'm doing justice by our Instagrammers to see how things working over here. Put you over here, you over there. This is just me doing things on my side. Great. I think that'll work perfectly. Let's get an apple. And I actually was watching a video the other day, and you can take scraps from things like this, and you can apparently mix it with like some like red wine and stuff, and you can just put it in your dehydrator. Put it in the dehydrator, and then you can just eat it. They become like little crisps and stuff. Or I guess I have an air fryer too. I wonder what you could do with that. I wonder what fried apple skins would taste like. That I think would be interesting. Oop, I missed that reindeer cookie. If you hear me mentioning anything about cookies or reindeers, it's because I'm playing Cookie Clicker in the background. Because I opened up my game, spent my sugar lumps, and accidentally clicked a reindeer, and it turned off all of my buffs that I had going for a passive build. So, whoopsie daisy. I done boo-booed. It's fine. It's a game. And it's not one that I'm playing seriously. This just kind of sits in the background sometimes. I open it up every once in a while, and I'm like, cool, are there more achievements to get? I was like, great, cool. Now that I'm getting the hang of this apple thing, things are going great. Honestly, I've never skinned an apple like this before. I think I've only ever used a knife, but I got many other scoop fruits to process today. So we'll just go with that. All this is going to end up in gin. And to be honest, I haven't done as much research as I probably could on doing this infusion with a bunch of different fruits. I'm just throwing it all into a jar, and I'm going to see what happens. And we're just going to take it and run with it. That's the idea. That's the idea. Honestly, I'm actually not a big fan of apples, all things considered. They just make me hungry. Like, eating apples just makes me hungry. It just doesn't do it for me. When I eat fruit, I'm trying to, like, have a snack or something. Not be more hungry than I was previously. These are the old knives that we had in the apartment. Not the new stuff. Cut it down the middle. Could use a core if you want to. I'm going to cut it in slices. And then I'm just going to cut out the middle and see what happens. So it's just like, let's do slices, right? Little apple slices. Anna's not here today. She is celebrating the marriage with a party, a little party. You know, bachelorette party. What the ladies do. What the ladies choose to do if they want to. And so I'm here, I'm hanging, doing some work. So then we do this. Got a core over here. I don't have the bucket upstairs. I really wish I had the bucket. I don't have the bucket. I actually just cleaned the bucket. So I'll put the scraps, scraps. What do I have? What can I put scraps in? Little scraps. I should go downstairs and get the bucket. I'll go downstairs and get the bucket in a little bit, because I don't want to waste any of these scraps. Because that's still edible. This little ring here, totally edible. That's fine. This is technically edible. If I put it in my mouth and I don't die from it, it's definitely edible, right? That's how it works. Everything's edible at least once. Some wise philosopher once said that. Let me poke this out from middle. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's not going to end up in our infusion, though. Put clean apple slices over there. Okay, ones over here. Put up this middle. There's probably a better way to do this, but I'm actually, my real-time job is a firmware engineer. So, you could say I have absolutely no industry knowledge except for what anybody can get from the internet and doing things randomly and hoping things work out just fine. But honestly, once upon a time, in ye old history of mankind, I guess that's kind of where everybody started, really. Let's cut some slices over here. Did I learn a better way to do this from chopping the first time? No. Let's just slice it again. Anything that doesn't wind up fitting in my jar, I'll just eat. The apples I'm not as much looking forward to because, again, I'm not a huge apple fan. If anybody has tips on cutting too, I know that there are chefs and stuff. Chefs and folks out there that exist who have definitely done this better than I have. That was good. Actually, this apple tastes pretty damn good. This is a red delicious. Is it delicious? I don't know if I agree with that. But at the very least, it has a flavor that is tolerable. I'm cool with that. Cut this core out. And there's a little piece of skin. There we go. Make a munch of that. Put that off to the side. A little wary about this one. Was this one okay? Alright, that one was fine. Great. Alright, cool. We got apple slices. An entire apple. Now that an entire apple has been sliced, put that in our jar. Make sure to clean your jars before we're doing anything like this. Mine has been cleaned recently. Put all these in the jar. So now we have our apple and our tasty tonic recipe. I'll eat this piece. That's the hefty part of the jar. Before I pour anything in there, I'll measure things out later. Now let me go real quick and get my bucket so that we can store things properly. That or bag. I think that'll probably work out too. Here I come, I found the bucket. I got the bucket. Generally speaking, when we create scraps on stream, or we don't like what we're having, we just gotta put it in the bucket. Now in this case, the bucket is going to serve as the everything thing. I'll do stuff with it afterwards. Trying to be conscious of food waste. So I'm trying not to put things to waste. If anybody has ideas with these particular food scraps, let me know. I'd be curious to try it. Things are getting a little sticky, but we're gonna keep moving on. So next what we gotta do, we're gonna add lemon and lime. Just one lemon, just one lime. That'll be fine. I don't want a lot of the peel. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give these a quick wipe down with a cloth. And then, I don't know where my paper towels went. That's okay, I have a cloth to do the job. Give it a quick wipe down with a cloth. And I'm gonna zest them just a little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit of zest. Because I don't want any of the pith. I want to try to cut off all the pith and get a little bit of zest. Maybe let's say about a tablespoon. Tablespoon each of zest of the lemon and the lime for our fruit-infused gin. I like the sound of that. So first what I'll do is, I don't really have a prep resistor. I've just got one of these things. So I'm just going to do that. And I'll zest that right into the container. Let's do a little bit. I don't know whether that's going to work super well. Oh, so many oils. So many oils. We'll get a nice hefty amount of zest, and then I'll be satisfied with each of these, and then I'll cut them. It smells so good in here right now, like pine sol. This is delightful. Alright, that's a hefty amount of zest, I think. There's a bit in there. That was kind of... Pop that down. Pop that down. Exact measurements? Whatever you want. Freeform. Freeform indeed. Honestly, a lot easier to zest this lime than the lemon was. Got a lot of lime zest in there. All right, that was good. That was nice. Cool. A little bit of that in there. Actually, you know what? I'm feeling more. I'm feeling more zest. It's very possible. I'll wipe down the phone camera in a little bit. This looks wild. How does the cocktail angle look? I just noticed I could be using the cocktail angle on the widescreen mode over on Twitch and YouTube. Let me check that out for a second. One second. Apply the zest. Control numpad 5. How's that looking? Is that disorienting? That's really disorienting. That's fine. Oh, we don't need that. We don't need that. Just believe me this time. Just gonna have to believe. It appears that I'm a better zester with my right hand. Who knew? It's because I'm right-handed. Alright, that feels great. Got some zest. Zesty, zesty, zesty. And I guess when we have our stream, bar with the next stream in a couple weeks or so, in 2 weeks or so, we can actually try this and see how it turned out. A big reveal! There's a bunch of zest on the counter. Let me see if I can do anything about that. Just like wipe it into my hand, I guess? No zest will go to waste. No zest will go to waste. Just pop that in. Best as we can. This is not a... This right here, it's not a perfect science. It's not an exact science. Cool. Zesty. Now we'll cut these up. I'm just gonna kind of cut them into wedges and take the skin off of the wedges. That's the plan. Got wedge, half and half. Not trying to go for the juices. Not trying to juice. Not trying to juice. Just trying to cut. This is how I like to make my wedges. Folks may differ, but this is how I wedge. This is how I wedge. And I could probably wedge better, but this is how I'm wedging today. They say that wedging is an art. Got some wedges there. Gonna cut them and process them a little bit more. Same thing over here. Yeah. And we'll pop in over here. I think this is the first time that I've infused a spirit with this much stuff. But that's kind of the fun. That's part of the fun. All right, so evidently, sometimes you can just peel these things. No, I don't think peeling is the right way to go. All right, here we go. Just gonna try to get the skin these guys out and try to not have the pith. No pith. There's probably a better way to do this, but I don't know what it is. I'm just gonna be very careful. Very, very careful. Just kind of, it's almost like a little shaving game. Yeah, actually, that worked kind of well. Get it as little pith as possible. Little pith as possible. A little bit of a tongue twister. Cut off that guy. Cut off this guy. Great. That's like relatively pithless. 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 I'll just throw that in my jar. That's one slice of lime. Going great. Let's do the same thing over here. I wonder if it's better for me to like, kind of look at it from an angle like this. Or perhaps the move would have been to just peel it first. With the peeler that I was just using. That might have been the move. No pith. No pith. Little pith if possible. I don't throw those off to the side. And I just remember they have the middle too. I don't want that pith either. Not this time. Oh, come on. There we go. Fruit. Push all the scraps off to the side. I was gonna do this anyways. I'm just glad I have the folks here with us. I like to think of it this way. This is almost like a view into what happens when the camera is not on. And honestly, it's really no fun if you don't get to see behind the scenes. I follow a couple different cocktail creators, and some of my favorite parts is just being able to like watch their process. I think one of the guys that I've been following recently, the High Proof Preacher, aka Cocktail Camera, has been doing a recent stuff of like what kind of cameras to use when you're taking like cocktail photography, like tips on how to actually like set the scene. I really like that stuff because I don't necessarily have the technical know-how to make some of these really awesome things look really good. So that's some of the content that I like consuming. And I also enjoy being able to produce that stuff too. Although I'm not at the same level as these other professionals are. It's fun nonetheless. And some point in time, I was inspired to try to do like a little like, how do you set up your own live stream like this? Could be fun. Could be fun. If people want to know how to, let me know. I'd be happy to do something like that. But only if somebody asks for it. Or maybe not. Who knows? I'm spontaneous like that. Little pith. No, the pith. I know too, you can take these citrus peels and all these citrus scraps and stuff, coat them with a little bit of sugar, let them sit for a while, and you can create something called oleosaccharum. Oleosaccharum, essentially the sugars will rip the oils from the peels of the citrus. And I guess technically it doesn't even have to be citrus either. It could be anything. I saw a recent article saying that you can make a banana peel oleosaccharum, which I feel like I dreamed once upon a time, but I can't take credit for it because I've never actually done it. I have cooked pasta with banana peel one time, and that was actually delightful. It was really good. There was only it didn't really like taste like banana, but there was a hint of banana-ness to it, if that makes sense at all. And it was very pleasant. And you can actually eat the peel. If you cook the peel's totally edible. It can be a bit starchy, a little dry, but the peel of a banana is totally edible. And actually, a buddy of mine, I think, in their pursuit for better health, decided, or perhaps was recommended, to eat banana peel for fiber, supposedly. I'm not at that level yet, but I will put it in pasta if the motion strikes me. Because it sounds, honestly, pretty good. I've also had some spirits too, like cachaça, and most recently, rum agricole, which have really awesome notes of banana to them, or at least they can. It was interesting when I bought this rum agricole. Do I have it on me? Let me see if I have it on me. Ooh, falling. My hands are kind of dirty. Where's my rum agricole? Oh, there it is. St. James. St. James. I got this. Bought this rum agricole. St. James de Fuis 1765 rum agricole. It's made from cane juice from the sugar cane. That's unlike rum, which is made from molasses, which is a byproduct of the sugar-making process. Rum comes from molasses. What comes from sugarcane juice? Cachaça, but also rum agricole. What's the difference? I haven't actually done my research, but my rum agricole is a darkened color, and my cachaça is a light color. So maybe one of the difference has to do with the aging process, if aging is even part of the process at all. I'm honestly not so sure. I could probably do some more research on that. These lemons are difficult. Try to get those pith from the middle. And I just noticed that we also have seeds in there. Don't think that's going to be an issue. I plan on straining this all out before doing anything with it. We got a couple more lemon slices. And then after we slice up the lemon, next we'll do... What else we got here? We'll do the strawberries next. I don't need a lot of them. Actually, you know what I'll do? I will do the starfruit next because I have a whole starfruit, and then it's just a matter of how many blueberries and coconut flakes and stuff I want to add to. That's the idea. we're making an infused gin with fruits, various different fruits, to create a tasty tonic recipe from the Paper Mario game series. Because the original recipe can be made, the actual tonic itself can be made with apples, lemons, and limes, nondescript red berry, nondescript blueberry, and nondescript yellow berry. And instead of going with a gooseberry for my yellow berry, I happen to have starfruit. So, we're using starfruit. Because I really like the nice citrusy notes of starfruit. And I've been playing with them for a while now for the crystal stars I've been trying to make. Here. And all these scraps will be used elsewhere. Maybe what I'll do is, after I'm all done with cutting with these, I'll take all of the peels. Try to get the seeds out if I can. And let's do like a big, like, non-generic, like a very generic fruit oleo. That sounds like it'd be fun. I guess question for the mixologists out there is, has anybody ever done like a really fruity infused gin? Might be able to take some inspiration here. My plan is to put all these inside, just let them sit for a while, and then possibly sweeten it. Although the bubblegum vodka is rather sweet. I guess the apple's kind of sweet. I don't know if it needs extra sugar. If it doesn't need extra sugar, I won't add extra sugar. Cut off the pith in the middle. Cammy B says Fogmat Align on the Instagram side. I don't have that chat in on the main feed yet. Hello there. Hello, Fogmat Align. Welcome. You ever cut fruit before? That's kind of what we're doing. Cutting fruit. Cutting fruit. There's plenty more fruits to go. Plenty more fruits to go. What I've been trying to do more of is showcase the actual process of making cocktails, because to me, that's the mystery. It's not necessarily the techniques at this point, although there's plenty of flair left to be had, and plenty of techniques that can be learned for somebody at my level. But like the actual process of making the cocktails, I think is the most fun of it. And I have not as much knowledge on that as it may seem. A lot of what I'd done previously was just kind of put cocktails in categories and kind of take their recipes and see how they taste. And that part of it, I would say, was more on the trying to develop my own flavor palette. And now it's about trying to use that flavor palette while continuing to increase it to create things that are totally new. Totally new and totally exciting. So a little bit of pith on there, a little bit of pith on the end. Let's slice that down the center. There's a lot of juice over here now. Lots of juice. Lots of juice indeed. Almost done with these lemons. This is either going to be really, really awesome or like really, really, really weird. And I'm down for it no matter what happens. Pop the seed out of here. More seeds. There's one in the center, but we'll deal with it. The gin will deal with it. If it really doesn't like it, I guess the gin could just like spit it out, I guess. Not how gin works. Or I guess technically, the equivalent to a spirit spitting something out, I feel would just be allowing it to, like, I don't know, float to the top. It's like, I want none of this. You can just go to the top, and then I will not infuse with you further. If spirits could speak. If communing with the spirits was not just a job for the mediums. My fingers are feeling a little... just a little spicy. I think I just recently cut my nails, and so the lemon juice is getting all in places that it really does not... not very pleasant to be in. But such is the cost for science. Such is the cost. I'm trying to take extra care for these pithy parts here, the white parts. It's called the pith. It's like piss, but with TH. And it imparts bitterness. A lot of the bitterness that you'll get from some of your fruits is from that little white filament that connects everything together, the pith. There we go. Now we get a jar with some apples, some lemons, some limes. Take all of our scraps, pop it into the bucket to be maybe saccharumed later. Maybe before I end this, we'll put them in with some sugar. and we'll see what happens. Ooh, all right, let's move on to the what did I say next? The starfruit. Starfruit's hanging off to the side. It's a bit ripe. It is a ripe starfruit, so we're gonna take our time trying to get only all the good parts. I think what I'll do, I'm just gonna try to very carefully cut off the end. Still edible. Oh, it's actually It's a little less citrusy now. And there's a sort of... What's it kind of like? Imagine pineapple without the zing. That's kind of what the starfruit tastes like right now. That's good. That's very good. It's also a little sour because I have lemon juice in my hands. So let's try to cut off the ends here. We'll very carefully go in for the other parts of it, I guess. Oh yeah, there's some parts of it that don't look very good. I'm not going to add this to my oleo because some of these pieces do not look very friendly. I don't want non-friendly parts. I'm not really going to be able to preserve the starriness of the starfruit. But that'll be okay. That'll be okay. Yeah, you are not looking good in there. Get out of here. You're an ugly piece of starfruit. We'll get you out of there. You'll become actual trash. You'll just go straight into the trash. Pieces from the center. Ooh, I can go at it from that angle. That's a good idea. First we go at it from here. Then there'll be a little bit left in the center. And go at it from this angle. Almost. Just kind of like peel it out. Do the same thing. Easiest fruit so far. Easiest fruit so far. And then I'll do like a little bit of an audit on it. See what parts actually look good, what parts don't. Take off those little brown bits on the bottom. And that's kind of our oddly peeled, but like also peeled starfruit. I really don't trust those pieces. Not all of them. I don't trust all of them, so I'm just going to say I trust none of them. But what I'll do for our oleo is I'll take a few pieces. I'll take a few of them. Take a few of them. Seeds and all. And I'll put those in the bucket. And then the rest will go into our little infusion over here. That does not want to cut very cleanly, to be honest. Alright. I want to get as little seeds in there as possible, so I'm going to rip them out if I see them. It's oddly mucusy. Starfruit, from what I found, can be pretty mucusy. Especially what's around the seeds. It's kind of gross. But it's also kind of delicious. The more that I cut, the more I get curious about how this infusion is going to taste in the very end. I got high hopes. Ugh, so nasty. So disgusting. In between my fingers. And then I'll try to get a measure of how much gin actually goes into this. If you cut up a single starfruit, a single lime, a single apple... Oh gosh, it's like falling apart. I've usually been cutting this starfruit with a sharper knife, not one serrated like this one. And I evidently have been playing on easy mode. Pop that over here. Let's take these scraps, and I'll take the plunge. Put it on my hands. Oh, goodness gracious. Pop those in the garbage. They've been sitting a little too long. That's unfortunate. But I don't know. I don't necessarily trust all of them. Here we go. There we go. Oh, my towel. There we go. All right, so we got we have nondescript yellow berry, we have lemon, we have lime, we have apple. The only other things that we're missing now are nondescript blueberry, nondescript red berry, coconut, and bubbleberry, which is just going to be this bubblegum vodka that I add in for flavoring. And hopefully not to change the color too much. Now I think what we'll do, there's a good like third left of this jar here. So I think we'll try to do a third of that third, some coconut flakes, some strawberries, some blueberry. I think I want this to be more fruit forward than other stuff. And I don't think a coconut is technically a fruit. Alexa, is a coconut a fruit?
Yes, coconut is a true fruit because it develops from a microwave.
It is a true fruit. Look at that. All right. So a coconut is a true fruit. So let's add some of this true fruit coconut in here. Honestly, that's probably fine. That's gonna be just fine. That smells delightful. Don't eat a coconut. Honestly, smells better than it tastes. Kind of tastes like almonds. Coconuts to me, kind of taste like almonds. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so we got our coconut, got our lime, lemon, and all the other stuff. Let's add some other fruits to it. Nondescript blue fruit and red berry. Let's go for that. I'll do blueberries first because I feel like they're gonna be more difficult than the strawberries. I'll make sure these guys get a little bit of water on them. These are just bought today because Anna bought them. There we go. All good. Now let's take some blueberries. And like honestly, let me taste this blueberry. Oh, they're sour. Oh goodness, they're sour. I actually want to keep the peels of the blueberries. And my reason for that is I want this to overall have a blue hue to it. So I think what I want is to have the most percentage of blueberries, because I want things to actually look blue, and because the outside of the blueberry I think is the most blue part of it, that's what I want to go for. So I'm just going to kind of take these blueberries and I'm going to cut them in like fourths and add them. I'll try to count how many blueberries I do. Try to get the big blueberries. The ones that look nice too, because not all blueberries actually look nice. And non-nice blueberries are not very fun. Not very fun at all. Got 3 blueberries so far. 2 dozen blueberries. Blueberry number 4. Blueberry number 5. Seems, yeah, the outside of the blueberry is definitely the most blue part. The insides are all like this white. 5, 6 blueberries. 7 blueberries. Try not to juice them too much. 8 blueberries. The biggest blueberries of the bunch. And then I get some snacks for the rest of the evening. I love that. 9 blueberries. 10 blueberries. So I can get a little bit of a color on the inside. They almost look like olives as you cut them. They almost kind of look like olives. I don't know why I feel that way. I'm thinking like black olives. I think that was 10. I think this one's 11. We'll say about a dozen blueberries. Maybe I'll do more. That might have been 12. How's that looking so far? I feel like I want more blueberries. I'm gonna go with more blueberries. I'm gonna put all the blueberries in here. Unless it really feels like fighting for space. I don't know whether or not I'm actually gonna be able to fit all of my gin in here, but I'll try my best. guess the other way that you could do this, let me think. If you didn't want to do an infusion with alcohol, and you wanted to do something like this, you could probably just juice it all together. Juice it all together, and then filter the thing out. And I wonder how that would taste. I don't have a very good... I have a juicer now, which is cool. And I guess technically, once you juice it, you just kind of put it into a filter. So it could be done. It could be done. It could definitely be done. We were curious about it. Let me do a quick check on things. See how things are going. I see. I was investigating how things look. I'll repeat again that this is the first time that from my desktop I'm streaming to Instagram because I got many of my mixological inspirations come from Instagram. And at the very least, I feel that it's my duty, because of this is what I do. I do like to live stream stuff, to put it there too. So that we can continue to learn in real time from the masters of the world around us. People who have been there first. The greats, that's what they say. And like Pinterest is a really cool place for cocktail stuff too, to be honest. I recently joined Pinterest. There's garnishes on there, there's cocktail ideas there. I think that's mostly where I get most of my garnish ideas now. It's Pinterest. Instagram's cool. Instagram's cool, but I feel like it's even easier, at least I find, to just like doom scroll through Pinterest for ideas. The tagging system on Instagram makes it a little bit weird. And oftentimes, at least when I see garnishes on Pinterest, that's not always the case, but oftentimes, I will see, I will see actual, like, videos telling you how to make the garnishes, which I appreciate, because sometimes I have no idea what I'm doing. Oftentimes, I have no idea what I'm doing. Oftentimes, indeed. Almost done with all these blueberries. Maybe I'm going a little too crazy on the blueberries. I think I am going a little too crazy on the blueberries. Alright, I'll stop there. I'll stop there with our blueberries. This is what it looks like so far. I still need space for the strawberries. And technically the bubbleberry vodka. Bubbleberry. I'll eat these blueberries later. They look delightful. I'm gonna steal one. Steal one of my pieces. They got a tartness to them. My goodness. So, now add our strawberries. Gotta give these guys a wash too. So excuse me for a moment. Probably should have washed them beforehand. I forgot. I'm only human. Let's go with these strawberries. I don't like that strawberry. Toss. Toss the strawberry. That's a nasty looking strawberry. That had some white stuff on it. I don't want white stuff strawberries. I want regular strawberries, please. I want the good strawberries. Oh, that's a good looking strawberry. I want the good strawberries. The ones that look pretty. I want to be like our what is it? Like our great nation's grocery system, where they only take the stuff that looks good and sell it, and then throw away the rest of it. That's what I want to do, sarcastically. So let's just let's put this in slices. That's beautiful. What is this song called? This is a good song. Canoa quebrada. I think that's Spanish, and I don't know what it means. Alexa, what's canoa quebrada in Spanish? No, not Kellogg's product. No, okay, what is... Alexa, what is canoa quebrada in English?
Canoa quebrada is a type of cliff diving formed by tourists.
Cliff diving?
1934.
Cliff diving? That's the cliff diving song, Canoa Quebrada. I like that one. I hope I find it again, because the song is now over. And I'm sure I've completely lost it. You know you can also eat the green parts of the strawberries too? Nothing stopping you from doing so. But I need to keep some of them for our oleo infusion. Evidently, I'm not fitting a lot of strawberries in there. This one is not a weird white strawberry. These ones are actually fine. Try to shake this around a little bit, see if I can get some space in there. Let's see how it goes. Looks good so far. I got a little bit more space. I'm gonna fill it all the way to the top with strawberries. Nondescript red berry, nondescript blueberry, nondescript yellow berry. Trying not to cut myself, please. Thank you. Lemon, lime, coconut, apple. That's all the fruit that's in the tasty tonic. Or that can be used to create a tasty tonic. Now, technically speaking, you can make it with ore. These are ores, any of them. Not all of them. You don't need all of them. So this is kind of inaccurate, I guess. You can have a lemon tasty tonic, a red berry tasty tonic, a yellow berry tasty tonic, a coconut tasty tonic. But this is the ultimate tasty tonic. Now, there's about half a dozen strawberries, I believe. About half a dozen. And that's where I'll call it. All right. I think we can safely say that's all our fruit. That looks pretty nice, honestly. Our apples on the bottom, a little bit of coconut, a little bit of lime, a little bit of lemon, red, blue, and yellow. Because there's star fruit in there somewhere. I like the way that looks. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Take a picture of that from my angle. Very nice. It almost looks like one of those potpourri containers. We just put a bunch of stuff in it. But we're going to add gin to it next. That's all I've got in terms of my fruits. Let me take my little fruit pieces. I'll put them in the bucket. And then we'll bring the bucket back with all the fruit scraps. We'll put it into a container with some sugar and try to make an oleo out of them. And we'll just see where that ends up. All this infusion process is going to take a while, so I'm not actually going to be able to show you here. But the whole reason I have these cameras and stuff going with different angles is so that we could, maybe, actually make a video on them, produce some more content around here. That's the idea. That's the idea. So now what we'll do is we're going to take our fruit that we have cut, which includes, according to the Tasty Tonic possible recipes from Paper Mario and Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, red berry, which we've personified as strawberry, which is not technically a berry, but it's got berry in the name. Blueberry, which we've personified with blueberries. Yellow berry, which we've personified with star fruit. Then we've got lemon, lime, apple, and coconut. And let me just make sure I've got all the pieces to the puzzle. I go back to my Google search. Tasty Tonic, Tasty Tonic. Oh, and the other piece of it, you need to combine that with honey syrup. Or in the case of the lime, lemon, and bubbleberry and coconut, you can just mix it on its own. Otherwise, you don't need, but you can add honey syrup to anything. You can also add it to the lime, the lemon, and the coconut. Bubbleberry is the only one that you wouldn't add honey syrup to. But this will have honey added to it. So I think in the Tasty Tonic cocktail, what'll happen is we'll add a little bit of our bubblegum vodka, a little bit of our honey syrup, and then we'll add that to our tonic. So this plus the honey plus the bubbleberry plus tonic is going to be what our Tasty Tonic will be. So now the last step is just take some gin and add it to our container here. I have two different London Dry gins. One is this Crystal Palace, which we picked up at the store the other day. And the other one I've got is just Bankers Club, just normal Bankers Club. I found that the Bankers Club was much more forward on its own flavors, and I wanted something that was a little less flavorful so that I could have the fruit do the most of the flavoring. So that's why I went with the Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace. And we'll see how much goes in there. I don't know how many I have right now. Maybe I should do a measuring cup. Nah, it's okay. This is an inexact science. Your Tasty Tonic will be different. Fill the whole way up. Let me get these strawberries out of the way. Oh, they're wet. Oh, my bar is wet. No, dude. I did not quite use all of the gin. There is still a bit in there. I'll fill it all the way to the tippy top. Here we go. Top it all off. A bar with an X, infused gin. We'll let that sit for a while. Exactly how long? I'm not exactly sure. I'm just gonna leave it to do its thing, and I'll put some updates about this over the next few days. There's a little bit of air in there, a little bit of air in there. I'll just give that a bit of a shake. Try to combine all of our ingredients together. What I'll recommend is if you're infusing something like this that isn't as homogeneous, what we want to do is every day or so, or maybe twice a day, you go in and just like invert it a little bit. Make sure that all the liquid gets a chance to play with all of the ingredients. I bet if I put this upside down for a little bit and shake it, I'm gonna try to get at least one of those blueberries to the top. They're slowly but surely making their way, kind of changing by density. Try not to break it too, because if you break it, you gotta cut all your fruit over again. I didn't really doing what I wanted to, but I think that's fine. I don't know what this is going to do. This is merely an experiment, but we got this all under control. This is actually kind of cool. I want to say, I don't remember who it was, but I'll give credit properly. But somebody, it wasn't my idea to do this. Somebody on Reddit actually said it'd be really cool if you did a tasty tonic. And I will give credit where credit is due. I did make it, and we did infuse it, but the idea didn't come from me. And I'm all about giving credit where credit is due. So let's take... Next thing we'll do is to close things up over here. I'll do a little bit of cleanup, because I have water on the bar, and that's kind of nasty. Kind of nasty. Let me put things over on my towel over here to dry off a little bit. Like my strawberries and my blueberries. And then I'll head downstairs and I'll get a container that is big enough to add some of our ingredients to. And we'll just kind of make a general fruit oleo and just kind of see what happens, because I'm very curious to see what happens with this. And in the meantime, I'll take this guy and pot it off to the side. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good there. Now let's go get a container. I will be back shortly. I have sugar already. I just need to get a container to put everything in. So, I'll be back in a hot second. I have returned. I have another container. What will we do with this other container? Well, I've already been over it, but I'll say it again if you'd like. So now, we'll take this container, and we'll put some fruit stuff. We'll put our scraps into it, and make an oleosaccharin. I gotta find my scale. I'm pretty sure it's over here. I might actually be wrong about that, and if I am wrong about it, I gotta go back downstairs to get the scale. Everything should be up here, but sometimes I misplace things. I'd like to use a scale, so we know exactly how much to put in here. The idea is we want to put in an equal amount of sugar by weight. I don't have my scale. I was really hoping it was upstairs, but I'm gonna pop downstairs again, just to see if I can find it. If I can't, never eyeball it. I found it. Scale. Here I come. I have returned. I have my scale now. So now, I'm gonna take the scale. If I have my paper towels, just no paper towels upstairs. But I do have another towel. These are wet. I gotta clean this stuff anyway. We're doing laundry today. That's what we'll do. We'll do laundry. Also gotta click this reindeer cookie, because cookie clicker. That's what I'm doing. Alright, we'll take this, put it on a nice surface. Easy. We'll do the rest of the cleanup later. This is not a pretty setup. It just is. Oftentimes, the laboratory is not the clean place. So now what we'll do is we'll take our container, pop it on top of our scale, we'll turn it on, level it so that this is 0, and we'll add our pieces to it. Trying not to add the water. Trying to not use water in this. Although these are a little These are a little wet. They're a little wet. Most of the whole pieces of it, what we want to do is have it come from the actual scraps themselves and use the sugar to pull out all the good bits. And I'm putting a lot of weird stuff in there. Got some leaves, got some rind, got some pith, got some other stuff. And so that is the idea. That is the idea. We're going to let the sugar do the work for us. I don't know what this is going to do, but I am very open about that. I actually picked up one of the star fruit. Put that guy right up on top. One more piece of apple. Now we have a weight of food scraps. It looks like we've got 170.6 grams. So now we're going to take that and we're going to add the same amount of sugar to it by weight. I think that's how that works. Could be wrong, it could be too sweet. We'll see what happens. You just kind of want to make sure that everything's covered and whatnot. So 170 times 2 is going to be 340.6, 341.2. So I got some sugar off to the side. We're going to add some sugar and see what happens. I'm going to use one of my knives to kind of get things comfortable with each other because we want the sugar to be as evenly distributed as possible. About 270 in there right now. 340. So now let's go in there. I'm gonna mess around a little bit. Make sure that everything gets a bit of the sugar. Everything wants sugar. Everything wants a little bit of sugar in it. So that's what we want to do. We're gonna make sure that everybody who wants sugar, which is everybody wants the sugar, gets the sugar that they desire. I might be adding too much sugar here, but if all else fails, if you add too much sugar, it's not gonna go into solution, and all that'll happen is you just have the little granules at the bottom. You can strain them out, and it will be okay. The last time I made an oleo saccharum, I did not do anything with it, so I'm hoping not to repeat the past. 293.2, let's add a bit more sugar. Bring that up to a 340.6. Be as exact as possible. A little bit more sugar. 334, 330. A little bit more. A little bit more. 338.8. Getting there. 339.3. 340. 1.2. That's what I need. 1. Oh, that might have been over. 344.4. All right, well, we gave it our best shot. So now there's just about the weight of sugar equal to the weight of fruit. And I think that's generally the idea. And you just kind of let this sit. You let this sit until the sugar does its job. It's going to infuse quicker. It's going to infuse like within the next like 24 hours or so. So I'll be able to check on this tomorrow. And that's our oleo. That is our oleo. Let me label these guys. We'll bring on both of our creations back to the forefront. We'll give them a label. We'll see how they go. So I got both of these things. These two right here. That was fun. I'm gonna go grab something to label these things with. I believe I have labels over in my drawer already. At least I thought I... Yep, I do. Alrighty. Take some labels. Put one on this container. We'll do the other one. Usually these containers would have labels, but I just organized all of my containers, so we take what we can. And I just gotta give these all as a label. This is our, let's do fruit gin. Got our fruit gin. There we go. And we got fruit oleo. And today is what? Today is 12/17. Alrighty then. Eight. And so is our creations. So essentially, let me cover what we did today. I'm trying to work on a recipe for the Tasty Tonic from the Paper Mario series. And the Tasty Tonic, to me, sounds like it'd be really well implemented as a gin and tonic. The gin, in this case, is going to be infused with a number of berries reminiscent of the recipes from the original Paper Mario game. To create a tasty tonic in the original game, you can combine either one of, I believe it's an apple, a lemon, a lime, or a coconut. No, bubbleberry, lime, lemon, or coconut. Or if you mix with honey syrup, you can combine lime, a lemon, a coconut, an apple, not the bubbleberry in this case, red berry, which we've personified as strawberries, blueberry we've personified as blueberries, and yellowberry, which we've personified as starfruit. And that's how you make your tasty tonic. So we're taking those fruits, all the ones that I mentioned. Coconut is a fruit. Strawberry's not a berry, but that's semantics. And putting it into gin. So that's where our infusion is over here. It's already kind of starting to turn. There's a lot of particulates in there. We'll make sure to strain that out before we do anything with it. And on the other side, we just wind up cutting a bunch of fruits. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take those cups, those rinds, and we're going to put them in sugar to create a fruit oleosaccharum, which is essentially the sugar ripping the oils and other juices and stuff from those fruits. It will come out as a liquid. I'll be posting updates on the Instagram throughout the day, throughout the course of these things adventures. And then, not this coming Wednesday, but the Wednesday afterwards on December 27th, I believe it is, we'll come back to the bar and we'll actually use this in a recipe to create our own tasty tonic, garnish and everything, which sounds like it'll be a lot of fun. So in any case, everybody, that's all I've got for this for today. I'll let y'all go. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's about 4:20 p.m. EST. A pretty awesome number. And I'll see y'all again on Monday, at least in the game side of things. We'll be playing more Paper Mario. It'll be great. That's tomorrow. I'll see y'all then. So thanks, everybody. Pop myself over to the end screen over here like I do on the regular side of things. It's wonderful. And to everybody else, especially on the Instagram side, this is the first time I've done any sort of streams to Instagram from the desktop as well. It was kind of complicated, but we got it all working in the very end, so that's all good. So, to everybody out there, thanks. Thanks for popping in. And if I see you on Monday, cool. If I don't, that's okay too. It was a lot of fun. And I can't wait to see what this stuff tastes like, so cool. Until then, y'all, thanks for popping in. And, bye.